Many community members are concerned about promises for regular token burns announced in the Earn and Burn announcement. Except for a small 5 million token burn in January, this promise hasn't been kept yet. And can you update us on the burn program? Is the team reviewing it for long-term stability? And when can the community expect the next burn?
Okay. So first thing I want to correct is the community needs to understand it's earn and burn. We didn't just sit one day and whimsically just came up with let's burn the token. That was not the objective. Community wanted a burn, and community wanted a mechanism to either shrink the supply or lock up the supply. That was what community wanted from us. That's what I sat down and we tried to plan. So we didn't say, oh, we're just going to go burn things. We said we're going to earn and burn. The reason why we could do the first 5 million is because Foundation had earned by staking some of the tokens, which we, instead of giving it back to the community, because community said, burn the tokens, not don't give it back to us, burn them. We burned them. So community, the Fetch Foundation was sitting on a earned amount of tokens, which we burnt, right? We burnt almost 40% of our earnings that we had, 40 or 50%. Now, and I made it very clear, and I think people who say otherwise are incorrect, because if you go and listen to any of the Spaces sessions I've done, I've always said my strategy is to make this product earn, and then we will burn out of the profitability, because that is a more sustainable method of burning, which I think, I mean, I give it to Binance. Binance did it quite well because Binance accrued the fees and then they burnt when the timing was right. They burnt the token, and that BNB burn was the right thing to do. And I kind of take lesson from it, and I listened to the community and who said we want to burn the token. Now, but what then became is that our product was not released. You know, we were slightly late in releasing the product. We were going to put a fee on it straight away, but we decided not to, because now you have this competition. If you don't offer the premium product, people don't onboard on such a platform. Nobody's going to come and say, okay, I'm going to pay $10, but I don't know what I'm going to get. So you've got to give them the opportunity to adapt to the product. So now we're seeing that change where people are coming in. As soon as we start generating some revenue, we're going to burn a portion of it. And that promise stands and has done since I announced it. So nothing has changed. We will do exactly that. Also, any fees from the network that Foundation earns, Fetch Foundation, I'm not talking about anybody else's foundation. None of this is any other foundations. You know, they you know, if they want to burn, they can burn, but we are burning from our revenues. So there will be another burn coming, and I will announce it in the sense that so there are multiple things happening. The biggest thing the community wants is to soak up the supply from the market, because the market is, we're an old project. We're not a new project. If you think about a project which has started a year ago, 2 years ago, they have locked up treasuries. We don't have that. All our treasuries are open. We just don't spend it. We're doing it because we believe in the project. So, I could have easily, I would be within my legal right as a foundation. Our foundation would be to sell all of it and leave. That would not be called scam, because our time is up. We're 5 years old project. We're done. That's not the point, though. Well, the point is, I want to prove to our community that that's not what we intend to do. What we intend to do is pull the supply. So we need to find these funds who can pull the supply out of the market and lock it up. So we're not just saying, well, pull it up and just leave it. No, we have to lock it up so that we can actually secure the network with it. Otherwise, what's the point? Again, completing the cycle. That's the intention. So there will be a burn coming. I don't want to tell you the date right now, but there will be income which the foundation has generated, and a portion of that will be burned. We're not going out spending it. We're keeping it. But what is more important? Is it to burn another 10 million tokens, or is it more important to actually suck up 500 million tokens out of the market? And so we're focusing on taking the supply out of the market.
I agree with that, and I was going to say the same thing. It's people are more worried about the dilution that the merger had caused, and taking the supply out of the market is probably the most beneficial thing that you can do for long-term stability, because all these earn and burn situations are going to add up, and they're going to increase to an X number of tokens over the course of however long you're doing this. So can you anticipate any kind of a time frame? I know you're not going to give exact dates or anything like that, but are you going to say, within the next 6 months there's going to be a burn, and next 3 months there's going to be a burn?
We
Do you have
we
any kind of an inclination?
Yes, I think within a 6 months definitely, and I think in the next 3 months I will aim to deliver some kind of direction on how and how much. So that's my hope. At the moment, I think what would be quite detrimental to the project is if you burn X number of tokens and your market cap drops and you go out of the top 100.
That's your concern.
That is my concern. Because if you think about it, there is not much gap, right? If we're down to 60, burn another 10 million tokens, you'll be down to 80. It's this, as you go down, the gap is shrinking. So, if we do that, our trading volumes will be halved. I mean, our trading volumes are not that great. Yeah. We were trading at some point $1 billion a day. We're now up to what, $100 million a day. So you drop out of the top 100, you're going to be at 2-3 million. Nobody will be liquidating. Or 1-2 million liquidation will, completely tank the price. I'm not trying to do financial engineering, but this is common sense. So what I think is fair for the community is to try and find a way to suck out the supply. And there is one misconception which I really want to actually correct it, if I may. This dilution effect, which was caused by the merger, is actually an incorrect representation of what happened. So if you had 50,000 people, we didn't go, we're now going to keep the same 50,000 people and we're going to increase the supply by 3 times. That's not what happened. What we did was we took 2 other projects who had 2 other communities who were holding the token. We sucked those tokens out and then issued the new token. So there was no dilution. This is a perception of people.
It is. I tried to address this on a couple of videos, because if you're adding to the token supply, but you're also taking the liquidity from that project that merged in with you and adding that into the FET liquidity, and it's somewhat stabilizing the price.
Yeah. So it's not dilution. And again, this is unfortunate that our community is the one who's saying that. Community should understand it and be positive about the project. Unless we're doing something really wrong, we have been delivering new things, new projects, new everything. So community needs to get behind it. So I would urge the community, ask whatever you want, but then become part of it. Let's go and tell people how undervalued this project is, rather than just saying, well, it's the price isn't going up. Well, maybe you have a part to play in this too, as much as I do.
That's true. And I always say, don't fudge your own bags. Like, if you're an investor, why are you out there putting negative thoughts in other people's heads when you're trying to bring in new investors?
But that to me sounds like there are some people who want to do it because they want you to go to a different project. Because a lot of the comments I see, oh, I stole all these FET bags and I went and bought this shitcoin. Well, okay. Well, I mean, okay. I mean, it's
and
fine.
those are the types of comments that I tried to filter out for this interview. I just so you know, those are the types I didn't want to include, just because you're right that it's more like shilling, right? I sold this to go to this. Good for you.
we are partners in this. We are partners in this. That I'm working my ass off to get you the products and get this project going. And you're my partners. Community is my partner, our partner, foundation's partner, the project's partner. They should be supporting the project. They shouldn't be saying, it's like saying I have a lot of people, who I'm working with. If they're going to make the projects sound bad, I mean, who else will come along? See,
Interesting. Yeah, absolutely.
we
So you're
our part.
putting a request into the community to basically try to be more positive and be more open and have patience and kind of have some trust in the team to bring these deliverables to them. And in turn, you're going to be transparent, work on communication, and try to kind of get these questions answered a little bit more. Because I watched a number of weeks go by where people asking about the burn and there was no reply. It was just crickets. So if you're asking the community to be more positive, the project also has to be more open. Do you agree?
Okay, that of course I agree. I mean, I didn't feel that was the case, but if you're telling me that's the case, then that is the case. So we should be more vigilant. I will make sure. As I said, I don't read all the comments. Now, if my community moderators have, not responded, I mean, as I said, Nico is pretty hot on it. A lot of the community, and now we actually hired a dedicated person. The ASI Alliance has it. David Taylor, hit him up. I mean, I'm sure he will make sure I answer the question. Some all the answers can't come from me, right? There are other alliance members. If their questions are for them, I can't answer them. Then I can't answer them.
I did go to him first before I even put that post out or that video, made that video. I did go to DT first, and I said, what's going on with the burns? Letting you know I'm making this video. So, I just wanted to let him know that it was coming. So, just wanted to
But,
get the community's questions answered.
if you give me some allowance, I do check all the posts. I check as many as I can personally because I don't want to
It's
lose
hard.
touch from my community. I'm part of this community. I am member of this community, so I don't want it to be negative. But I sometimes it's quite depressing to just keep seeing negative, negative, negative. I mean, if you're my community and I'm your community and we're part of one, then let's create some positivity here. Yeah, that's what we need to do. If we want this
Positivity.
project to succeed, let's bring some positivity. I promise you'll get the answers. You always get the answers. It might be a time delay, but get me on anytime. I'm happy to go on spaces anytime. But there is no point me just going on the spaces, 10 people turning up, nothing to say, and off we go again. Okay, I mean, what's the point in that? So maybe sometimes when community gets passionate and we get this kind of discussion going, then it kind of makes me passionate in telling you what's going on.
I can tell you're passionate today.
Well, it's
like
coming from
it.
right. I'm not making it up. It's not written down. I didn't read your questions. I didn't read any of it, so I don't know what you were going to ask me. But I had a sense because I do check on the community pulse.
Well, it's very appreciated. That's great, and I thank you very much for coming on with me today. You actually reached out. You posted on X and said, "Hey, bring me on your podcast." And I thought, "Wow, okay, cool." I've never done an interview before on my channel. This is the first, and and I always say to the community, and I always say in my videos, without trust and confidence in your community, it's really hard for it to grow and thrive. So we got to get that trust back. And like Human said, like he want try to be a little more positive, and if you have questions, bring them up the right way. Have some constructive criticism. If you're going to go and call something out, at least have some proof or something that they can look at to say, hey, yes, we did mess up, or no, that's not true. You know what I mean? So before we go, is there anything else that you would like to add for FET holders, or give us any kind of inclination of where the broader ASI ecosystem is headed before we go?
Just give you a recap. We are launching products which are going to generate revenue within crypto and outside of crypto. We are competing with a market which is evolving and developing every second. So it's not by intent, it's by the sheer fact that I don't have enough hours in the day that I am working with my developers. We're all very busy. We run a very lean team. I mean, I don't go and hire 300-400 people from Silicon Valley. I run a lean team. And what that means is my time is engaged in building the product itself. I'm busy doing that as well. So my apologies if the community felt that I didn't respond in good time. But the one thing which is always on my mind is how my community is feeling about all the things that I do, and am I doing them right or am I doing them wrong? So my biggest focus is to do right for the community and do right for the project. So sometimes just having more positivity and being supportive to the project is all I'm asking from the community. I take
That's
everything.
fair.
I will try and change everything that we have done wrong.